Hi. Hi, Malcolm.
Hi there.
Hi,
Hi,
Courtney.
Courtney.
How are you?
Good, good. It's a crazy year. We're almost wrapping it up. And we're here with Courtney on health. And you've been like really great this last month getting the word out. So hopefully next year it'll be even more great things coming up. So that would be awesome. So it's been quite a year, obviously. And as we approach 2021, perhaps we can take with us some good things that this crazy year has brought. I mean, I think people slowed down. I think that was a good thing through all of this. They had no choice because we were on lockdown due to COVID. And your home became your office and your kids' classroom. And you kids, you definitely know more than me. I might have had the office, but not the classroom, except for my doggy. But even through the chaos, people began to realize, I think, that the pace they were living before the pandemic was really too hectic and too much. Things just move so fast all the time, and no one slows down. And so, with that, families, I think, became a little closer, even though at times I think it was chaotic for a lot of people. And of course, people who had a more difficult time dealing with things, that's a whole other issue to discuss. But people, again, got close with the families. They played games, they read, they did puzzles, became like huge this year. Not only toilet paper, but puzzles. And it took a lot of walks. They took walks, but they tried through all of this. It was tough to get through it the best they could, and not easily, but they did. And I think one thing that we took for granted this year was that everything keeps moving somehow, even through all the craziness, and all the people that help us get through. The essential people that we don't think are essential got us through this. And so I think we need to show them, and in general, show more respect and more kindness and more resolve, and help people who are in need, and then be grateful for those who got us through this. And we have to treat ourselves better, and we need to be smart about what we do, what we eat, how we exercise. And so we have to build immunity. And so, Courtney, I'm turning
Yes.
it over to you for some tips and information on how we can maintain our health and well-being into the new year, getting rid of this crazy year. So,
Yeah. Well, many people, not all, usually take this time of year to set out New Year's resolutions. I've never been a big fan of resolutions for a variety of reasons, because typically people set themselves up for things that they may not achieve. And then if you don't achieve something, what happens? You feel pretty lousy, right? And if you're feeling lousy, then you're less likely to be motivated to do anything. So whatever it is you were trying to do in 2021, what we really want to encourage is more of setting goals, and more specifically something called SMART goals. It's kind of the gold standard of behavior change.
mhm.
So whether you are trying to lose weight, or whether you're trying to start an exercise program, or exercise more, or be more empathetic, or strive for a different position in your job, all of those could and should be pushed through this SMART goal setting logic. What it stands for, SMART, SMART. So the S is going to be is specific. Okay. M stands for measurable. And I'm going to go through sort of a classic example of how to work through this. So M, measurable. A, achievable, because what at least I found in my practice and working with individuals on goal setting, oftentimes what's happening is it's not a bad goal they set, it's just too lofty, too big, and not specific enough. So it needs to be achievable. Okay. R means relevant. Is that goal that you're trying to achieve important to you, or is it something that you heard from a friend, from a colleague, from your doctor even? Your doctor advising you to lose weight is certainly probably grounded in science and in well-being, but is it really something that you're ready to approach? And the T stands for making it time specific. So Maxine or Malcolm, if you guys think of a goal, like, Malcolm, you were joking around saying you just want to, survive until, until you can get a vaccine. Okay, well, what will you do? Too broad, right? Maxine, if you say, I want to do more exercise and spend more time outside, that's more of an objective. Okay? It's too broad. It's not giving you a step-by-step approach on how to get there.
Yeah, Courtney,
Yeah.
the word that I would say that's tantamount to everything is incrementally. You can't just do it. I know people were talking earlier, Maxine says everybody wants to, join a health club and start working out. And I find out, I've been working out for years. The people that come in the New Year's, all of a sudden get in and they work their tails off. And the next 2 weeks, they can't move. And then they get discouraged.
Right.
You have to do it incrementally, like losing weight. If you lose a half a pound a week, in 10 weeks,
Absolutely.
5 pounds, but it's pounds.
Absolutely.
To me, that's a key.
But you need you need a roadmap to do that. So too broad. How are you going to get there? That might be your end game, maybe the end of chapter. One of those steps might be on that set. I'm going to try and eat, and I'm just throwing this out there, salads 3 days a week for lunch for the next 4 weeks, and the other days of the week I'm going to try and eat lower sodium, lower fewer calories. It's very specific. You've given yourself a timestamp for it. So at the end of those 4 weeks, you can reevaluate. That's the beauty of proper goal setting. That way it's never about failure. You didn't fail to meet that goal. It just have been to be tweaked. So maybe eating salads that you were salads before is a little unrealistic. Then okay, well, maybe I want to shoot for 1 day a week or 2 days a week. So they're workable and you mold them and then you adjust. And it constantly moves throughout the year with you, rather than a resolution, which is, I will do this, and then you don't do it, and you feel badly about not doing it. Really, and you can plug anything in. Exercise, you're absolutely right, Malcolm. Most people, run out of the gate beginning of the new year. It's not an achievable or relevant goal for them, or even something that they can do because they might not have the time to work out for an hour every day. Most people don't, quite frankly. So setting a goal that's that lofty is not really a relevant goal for that person. Even if you can increase it to 15 minutes a day and start from there. We know that even 10 minutes 3 times a day is a realistic and very reasonable and effective way to incorporate exercise. Doesn't have to be all in one shot. So if you break it down or help individuals break it down to that level, it makes it much more attainable for them. And then they feel good because it's like, I've done this. I was able to exercise for 10 minutes, 3 times a day, and I was able to do that for 3 months.
Yeah, that's a good idea because people should get, if they can take care of them, get dogs because you'll be definitely exercising minimally 3 times a day.
Or the dog will get the exercise.
Hey, it's good, the dog gets the exercise and you get the exercise.
Courtney,
And what about
what I wanted to ask you.
Go ahead, Mel.
Courtney, what I wanted to ask you, because I see you're sipping your water, which I find out that most people don't drink enough water, especially when they're exercising. Because when you exercise a lot, obviously you're sweating, so you're depleting your body. How much water do you recommend that we drink per day?
Yeah. At a basement level, and this really does depend on a lot of different things, by the way. Are you on certain medications? Are there any underlying health risks? So I just need to put that disclaimer out there. But generally at a basement level, the low end of what we've heard is the 8-ounce glasses a day. But keep in mind that that is all fluids. So that doesn't mean just, I happen to be drinking lemon water here. It can be the fluids that, it's in, decaf tea, it's in regular water, it's in your fruits, it's in vegetables, it's in things like yogurt, it's in soups. So it's cumulative fluid intake and not necessarily just what you're drinking, out of a faucet or, seltzers or things like that. Oftentimes, I feel like that's a little bit low, particularly for individuals who are exercising. That number would often get bumped up to about 100 ounces a day. Again, keeping in mind that that includes what you're drinking and what you're eating as well. Some people tolerate, I have ice in here right now, but lukewarm room temperature fluids a little bit better than necessarily cold. So really go with what you think makes it more palatable and easier for you to get to that number. You know, when you're in the cold weather, you know, Malcolm, your weather's a little bit more cooperative. People don't, that thirst mechanism is really not firing as much because we don't feel like we're perspiring as much as we typically are. You're not out in the heat, even if you're exercising. So people forget that they need to drink, you know, that minimum amount during the winter. But it's really, really key. It's how we transport vitamins and minerals throughout our body. It's wonderful for skin integrity. So obviously to, you know, avoid dehydration, for athletic performance. So whatever way you can make, you know, liquids more palatable to you, lemon, lime, throwing a splash of like cranberry juice, orange juice, or whatever you think you find nice in there, that would help. Seltzers for people because they like the bubbles. That's an option. Herb and decaf teas. In fact, I'd love to do a whole session on the different teas and what they bring to the table. But again, whatever
We
works.
will.
We
Definitely
will,
do that.
but anyway, it's time to end our show.
Wow, this is
Yeah, I
great.
mean,
We didn't even get into indulge, you know, holiday eating and drinking, and what are we gonna do? And like, okay.
Put that after New Year's, plenty of time.
we'll do it to post.
I will say though, I do want to put a quick plug in for, and they're all over. You can find them online for anybody who really is trying to use this SMART goal setup. There are templates all over the internet like this that you can. I mean, if you want old school and print them out, great. You can work with them online, and they really help keep you focused. Seeing something in written form for many of us is really the starting point and helps us stay on task. So I'd encourage you to use some of those tools that are widely available all over.
Well, thank you very much, Courtney.
So we need to be in a lot of different ways. Yeah. Courtney, where do people get your Instagram?
That's still CLG Wellness.
Okay.
Fantastic.
And you can also get us on MalcolmPresents.com and themanishadesofgreen.com. And everyone have a happy, healthy,
New Year. Yes.
Saner New Year. That's my resolution.
Happy, healthy New Year.
Everyone just be well.
Yeah, and may better
Happy
things
New Year.
come in 2021. Happy New Year, everybody. Bye.
Yes.
Be well, guys.
Happy New Year.